Hi Scorpio, welcome to your Uranus in Taurus special with me, Raphael Ray from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. So, the one that everybody is buzzing about, the one that everybody is going crazy about at the moment. Why? Well, Uranus moving into Taurus is a big deal because it happens once every 84 years. So that means that it takes basically the entire span of one human life for this planet to travel through the entire zodiac. And in that respect, it could be seen that this planet represents the phase of human life, you know, the stages that we go through, because that's effectively what all the signs are. They're responses to each, you know, each one that comes before it. It's a response to it. Uranus is the modern ruling planet of Aquarius. And therefore it has links to spontaneity, to thinking outside the box. It's revolution, change, it's rebellion, it's you know, the higher octave of thought. It's a really youthful and vibrant energy. It's the energy of explosions and electric. You know, this glyph actually represents a satellite, you know, which represents, you know, the internet, technology, all kinds of things. And you know, the fact that this, and it's the planet of change, you know, I said that already, but we're not talking about the kind of change that Pluto brings. Pluto will bring you slow change, it will bring you transformation, it will bring you you know, get into the roots and the depth of something, whereas Uranus comes in, smashes the door open and says, right, bam, this is what I'm changing, this is what's going to be different, and it's going to be different from here on in. Deal with it. You know, Uranus actually rules the tarot card of the Tower. And for any of you, or for those of you that have been with me from the beginning, the Tower is about that experience that you've almost put off, that you ignored, and now you can't ignore it anymore. The inevitable has happened and come, and you know, you've built up this illusion of safety and what you know and what is known and real. And the illusion of that just cracks, you know, because Uranus comes along. It's a curveball event. It represents that kind of energy, the unexpected, the things that you just can't anticipate. And you know, it's a very swift card, even though it takes a planet and a very swift energy. Even though it takes 7 years to move through a sign, its energy is raucous and vibrant, and you know, it's alive. It's really alive, and it flits just like thought from one thing and one place to another. And then it's moving into Taurus, the sign of fixed earth. You know, it's interesting as well because this is the modern ruling planet of Aquarius, which is fixed air. So, you know, there's obviously like a little bust up there because the energies are so different. Taurus rules the earth, it rules the body, it rules the environment, it rules the animals in the environment, it's food and agriculture, it's the monetary system, it's money and finance, it's, you know, gold, precious metals, all of those things, because Taurus rules the second house in astrology. And that's all to do with, you know, your self-worth. It's all to do with your self-esteem. It's about what you value, what you truly value. It's about your physical body. It's about your physical senses. So Uranus moving into Taurus is going to shake that up. You know, not just, it's going to be about big changes to the diet of everybody, what we eat, you know, how we get what we eat. It's going to be about changing the environment, making it a better place for all of us to live. It's going to be about us kind of saying, you know, actually we've pushed too far and now the planet is, you know, possibly pushing back. That's one of the things that we really need to consider as well, you know, going forward. And I've often said the planet is adept at healing itself, and if it means kicking off, let's say, to do so, it won't hesitate. It's a living being. If, you know, somebody stood there prodding and poking and slapping you every moment of the day, eventually you just get sick of it and deck them one. You know, it's the understanding of we've pushed as far as we can, and eventually it will start to push back. But Uranus into Taurus, you know, it's an exciting, vibrant energy because it means we're about to do life differently. It means we're about to get a shock value, you know, literally shock value, a shock of the values, a shock of your value system. you know, a shock to the monetary system as well. You know, how we use, perceive and make money may well change for a lot of people as well. So this is happening as a Scorpio in your 7th house. And your 7th house is the house of marriage. It's the house of relationships. It's the house of love. It's the house of your spouse, your partner, your wife, your boyfriend, husband, girlfriend. It is also your, you know, your business relationships and partnerships. Your 8th house would be, which is, you know, Scorpio rules. Your 8th house is more about the finances you make from other people, whereas the 7th house that this happens in, if you're a Scorpio sun sign, or especially a Scorpio ascendant, this will be relevant for you. You know, the 7th house is all about your, it's all about your partner, but it's also about I believe one of my tutors called it the open enemy, and that doesn't necessarily mean an actual enemy. Sometimes it's, you know, if you're a sports person, you know, up until the moment of the race or the fight or the whatever, you know, those people, they're other human beings who've got their own hopes, dreams, aspirations, goals. They might even be your friend. But then when you get on the track, it's like, yeah, you know what? I want to win. And in order to win and be the best, you have to see that person as an opponent. And, you know, that's what the 7th house represents. So this could be your competition. This could be, you know, and with the Uranus there, in Taurus, this could be really giving you the chance to excel and grow yourself, the chance to excel and grow, you know, to win, to succeed at things. And in order to do so, you have to be challenged. And, you know, Uranus will bring you spontaneous challenges, especially to your everyday life, you know, and it, you know, this could come in, and also it could come in the form of your personal relationships. So I've got my trusty notes here. Let's see what I've written. Can bring about exciting and interesting interactions and relationships. These could see you living a life of unconventional enjoyment and even getting married spontaneously to someone that you cannot even fathom at this moment in time. So Uranus, like I said, it's rebellion and it's shock. You know, and I've always said that when we rebel against something, it's about refusing the programming or the conditioning that has been imposed on us from the external world. It's about saying, no, that doesn't fit with me. That's not the paradigm I choose to buy into. And, you know, so Uranus comes along, the rebel, and says, no, actually, fuck that. We're not doing that. We don't want to be a part of that. We don't do things that way. That's not us. You know, that's not me. You know, but obviously the 7th house is the house of we. It's the house of us. It's the house of you and me, us together. You know, it's the house of the relationships. And like I said, it's the house of, you know, partnerships. So this could be business partnerships, but it also is marital partnerships. For some of you, this transit within the next 7 years, this could see you meeting somebody that completely knocks you for six, that comes totally left of field, that you just don't see coming. For some of you, I'm going to be real, you know, it is what it is. It's challenges, it's upheavals, it's big sweeping changes. For some of you, this might be you meeting somebody while you're already in a current relationship and saying, this relationship no longer works for me, and the reason it doesn't work for me is because that person is who, you know, reflects who I am now and who I want to be going forward. For those of you that are single during this transit, this could see you meeting somebody that completely shocks you, completely awes and floors you, and makes you think, do you know what, I can't let this person get away. I need to be with them. I want to be with them. And this could see you making a commitment, you know, 7th house, you know, marriage or commitment. This could see you making a commitment, you know, spontaneously, and much to the surprise of your peers, of your family, of your friends as well. Uranus can bring sudden meeting of minds and interaction of souls in the most of shocking of ways and places. You know, and that's kind of it as well. This could see you finding a partnership, you know, or an intimate relationship, or even a business partnership in the most unlikely of places. You know, what's an example? Well, I'm shopping for fish on a Monday morning, and you know, I happen to run into you know, a businessman or woman who says, oh, actually, you know what, I really like that. And then you get talking, you know, over this one random, spontaneous, zany thing. And then it ends up kind of growing legs and running off and becoming a full-blown interaction. And from the interaction forms a connection. And from the connection forms a bond, forms a commitment, forms a tie. You know, really, really interesting stuff. This can be a true meeting of equals like no other before. And if you are single, it could bring about an unlikely and even surprising union. A meeting of opposites and different people and energies that meet on a level beyond the eye and the known. And that's kind of it. Remember I said Uranus, it represents the higher octaves of thought. This is, you know, it's the Aquarius energy, so it's spontaneous and it's vibrant and it's, you know, a bit quirky and a bit out there and a bit like, oh, okay, you know, I laugh because I'm an Aquarius. So for me, this is like, you know, I got this, you know, I know how to work with this energy. This is my ruling planet. I haven't done the Aquarius videos yet, so that'll be an interesting watch. You know, you also, Scorpio, to remember, are a fixed sign. Taurus is a fixed sign, and this is your direct opposite in the zodiac. So if you can embody the best traits of yourself, so this means, you know, embody the best of being in control of your desire, understanding your depth, understanding your commitment and your ability to hold on to something for the long term, and then apply it to the best of Taurus, which is about nice and finer things, about enjoyment, about appreciation of your environment, appreciation of beauty, finding beauty, holding on and capturing beauty in all things outside of yourself. You know, if you can tap into that sliding scale of energy, you could find yourself in a partnership that just absolutely blows your mind. You know, whether that's business, whether it's intimate, you know, this is about forming connections and bonds with people that could end up very well lasting for the rest of your life. Let's see what else we've got. Business partnerships born from common ground or a shared belief in an abstract concept or an ideology can be fruitful and sweet and even very lucrative because there will be a constant renewal of energy to pour into shared ideas. You know, and this is what I was saying about the zany thing. You know, you could find yourself having things in common with people that you're like, wow, I thought I was the only person that liked that sort of stuff, or, you know, I thought I was the only person that geeked out about that, or, you know, it's that kind of thing. And it can happen in the most spectacular and spontaneous of ways. You know, Taurus represents the world, it represents the earth. Get out there. Be out there in the world. Take yourself outside of your comfort zone. Take yourself outside of your home. Get out there into the world and embrace the different, the new, the things that you might not necessarily know or understand, because you might find not only do you love and enjoy them, but you end up forming bonds with people that love and enjoy them too. And those bonds are what catapult you into catastrophe. Those bonds are what catapult you into achieving and you know, enjoying the best of all you have to offer, and the best that relationships can offer you as well. The challenge for all that I have mentioned may come in the differing opinions and learning how to reconcile them with your own. As always, you are going to be taught ways to commit yourself to someone or something else, and to do so without compromising who you are and overruling someone else's need to find the same within their own lives. In short, in a less flowery way than I've written it here on my trusty notes, this is about rediscovering who you are, forming partnerships and bonds with somebody else as who they are, and understanding that, you know what, I can compromise on what we do, on how we get there, on what we choose to achieve and what's important to us, but I don't have to compromise on who I am to do so. And in order to do that, you have to allow the other person in the relationship, in the partnership, in the, you know, commitment to do so as well. And therein lie the beauty. You know, if you can do that and tap into that, the things that await you, you know, the bonds and the you know, I'm so happy for you. Connections is what the world is about. It's why we're here. We're not born to be hermits. That has its time and its place, make no mistake. Sometimes it's good to choose to be alone as opposed to lonely. But, you know, we're here to connect. That's what we're here for. That's what human beings are about. I would like to bless this deck of cards with all forms of love, like peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So, let's see what the 7 years ahead of this transit will be about for you, what you have to learn. So the King of Cups, this is you straight off the bat, Scorpio. And the reason I say this is you is because my dad's a Scorpio, so I have a soft spot for you guys anyway. You know, my dad he's deep and he's dark and he's powerful and he's really, really smart and really intelligent. And, you know, I love him to bits because he's just a dude. He really is. So I'm going to say straight away, this is you. You come up in your own reading, although this card actually represents the sign of, actually no it doesn't, it's Scorpio. Yes it is, sorry. This, you know, this is the sign of Scorpio. So this is you come up in your own reading, which puts you in a place of strength. It puts you in a position of strength, and it means that you will be ruling your emotions throughout all of the changes that occur over the 7 years. This first year will be setting the precedence for the next 6 to come after it. And this kind of says to me that what you will be working with is how to truly own and govern and navigate your emotions like never before. And this is going to make you super creative and super intelligent. You know, it's often been said that water is the most intelligent element. Cups rule water. Scorpio is a water sign. So really, really interesting. The first year you start off strong, Scorpio. You come up as who you are. You have the ability to choose, you know, to have some choice in all of the things that will happen. The only thing that you can't choose is the spontaneous and zany people that will come into your life and the spontaneous zany ways that you connect with them. The second year will see you finding things in your front garden, because this represents happy surprises, and it also represents finally discovering or rediscovering or remembering, as my dad would say, remembering what your gifts are, and remembering and realizing what you have in your own front garden and saying, actually, do you know what, I've got all that I need. Actually, everything that I need to create what I want is already here. So you've already got a firm foundation and understanding of self. You know, in fact, there's not many people that do it better than a Scorpio. You guys are so happy swimming in the deep and the depths of who you are that you very often, you know, by the time they finish puberty, like, you know, when they get to like 17, they're already really, really wise and have very, very good handles on who they are and their own desires and their own psyches. So, you know, this is you understanding and remembering that. Effectively, that's the second year will be about learning what you bring to the table, or remembering what you bring to the table. The third year of this transit brings you the Devil. So this is about, because the Devil card represents the sign of Capricorn, so it actually represents achievement and accomplishment. But this card in the tarot actually talks about addiction, and what it asks you is not to get so hung up on what you bring to the table. You already know that stuff. What you're looking for now is how you connect with other people. What you're looking to remember and understand, and what you're looking to actually learn now. What you're looking to accomplish and achieve now is how to marry what you are and what you bring to the table with something else and somebody else. You know, the addiction there could be the, you know what, I do it better. I know. And the, you know, it's kind of like almost that, trying to override. Remember what I said about the astrology? Try not to override somebody else. Try not to force them to compromise who they are, because then you'll fall out of love with the love that you had with them in the first place. That's one thing about relationships that's always kind of miffed me a bit. Like, you know, someone meets you, they fall in love with you for a specific reason because you are how you are, and then they try to change you. Like, what is the point of that? You didn't fall in love with who you wanted me to be, you fell in love with who I am. You know, and this is about you remembering who you are, understanding what you bring to the table, but then also respecting somebody else and knowing that they are themselves as well. And you know, you're not here to change them, you're just here to interact with, commit to, and blend with them. You know, you find compromise in the middle ground, and somewhere between it you both create something that is amazing, safe and sound. That rhymed. Anyway, the 4th year of this transit, oh, look at that, the 10 of Cups. The 4th year of this transit is probably when the marriage will take place. You know, and some people will say, oh, 4 years is actually quite a long time. Is it really? You know, is it? I mean, I know obviously people get married, you know, a lot before that. But in the 4th year of this transit is likely when you, Scorpio, are to get married. And you know, the first 3 years could just be, it could be business partnerships, you know, opponents, you know, enjoying, you know, some kind of competition and all that sort of stuff. And then in the 4th year, bam, you meet somebody that just solidifies everything, you know. And this could even be in a business sense as well, you know, for those of you that are already married, for those of you that are chasing the career instead of, you know, the love. But the 10 of Cups is happiness, it's emotional fulfillment, it's wish fulfillment, it's contentment, but it's even better than the 9 of Cups because it's something that you can share with the people that you love and care about most. You know, the 4th year brings you something truly spectacular and truly beautiful. It's really interesting because the 4th card and the 3rd card seem to have been the challenge cards. But I've found that the lower signs are actually getting them the opposite way round, which is interesting because they're on the other side of the horizon. So the 5th year of this transit sees you making swift decisions. It sees you signing the papers. It sees you signing the contract. It sees you finally going for it and making something official. You know, this is, and for a lot of you, this will be the marriage taking place. This will be, you know, you deciding to take something, some commitment, some interaction to the next level. It's about elevating it and taking it beyond, because the Ace of Swords represents decisions made, swift decisions made. It represents paperwork and, you know, written things, letters, documents. Ooh. Okay, so the 6th year of this transit. Oh, I mean, could you even ask for any more than that? Look at that, you've got the 2 best 10s in the entire deck. So you've got emotional happiness, fulfillment, stability that you can share, wish fulfillment, and then you've got financial, physical, material stability, abundance and plenty. You know, the 10 of Pentacles, you know, this is like the emotional, the internal content. The 10 of Pentacles is the external content where you have way more than you could ever anticipate. You know, the 6th year of this transit looks like it could be very lucrative for you, and it will be the year where you gain the rewards, where you know, you really see something kind of massive and say like, damn, you know, wow, I've actually achieved this. Beautiful. Open arms, huh? And then finally you get the Queen of Swords. This represents the sign of Libra, and it represents their, you know, justice, but it will be an air sign female. So this could be a Libra, a Gemini or an Aquarius female. This is usually somebody that's really sharp-minded, somebody that's got a sharp wit, somebody that is very intelligent, very learned. Usually this is an older woman, you know, and a very feisty woman at that. But one of the things about her is she's ultimately very, very fair. When this card represents an archetype of ourselves, what it actually talks about is us finding those qualities within ourselves and remembering, you know, with all of this good stuff and all of this achievement and all of these great business ventures and stuff, remember to be humble. You know, remember to be fair as well. That's one of the most important things that I could stress probably about this, yeah, is, you know, remember to be fair, remember to be honest, open. This is an amazing transit for everybody, but this is really exciting. Let me know how this plays out for you. Dip into this reading over the next 7 years. It's not just going to be a transit that happens tomorrow and then that's it, you forget about it. It's going to take 7 years to move through this sign. So share your comments, dip back into the video, come back to it time and time again to see if it matches, to see if it marries up. Let me know how it goes. If you're still with me 7 years from now, I want you to say to me, God, Raf, you know, do you remember all of the predictions that you made on the Uranus video? You know, I want you guys to say that to me, and I hope that you are still with me after 7 years' time. I wish you an abundance of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance itself. I really, truly hope that this transit is everything and more that it's promising to be. Stay open, and, you know, just be your authentic self and allow others to be their authentic self as well. And you will find everything and everyone that you are truly meant to commit to in this life. Have an amazing time, and I will see you soon.